This channel jumps about from one thing to another, me trying something new and seeing how well I can do it and what it's like and if it works and if it doesn't. And as a general rule now, I tend to sort of go, help. Please, if you know something, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and then I can improve and come back and do it again. So I've painted Warhammer models, painted flower paintings, and occasionally I'll get a comment saying, oh, you need to thin your paint down, or you need to thicken your paint, or you need to use plastic glue, not super glue, and things like that. A one-off comment. But then a few weeks back I posted the help needed on the 3D printer video. Yeah, 3D printers win. They are the most helpful and most informative community I've ever come across on this channel. With, you ask something, you say, what am I doing wrong? Wow. You get theses on how to print and what to print and when to print and what not to print and how to do this and how to do that. And so today we're back asking more questions and answering things and giving credit to all those people that left comments. So hi, I'm Nick, this is London Creative, and for Christmas I got a present of an EasyThreed X2 printer. Did okay, it's pretty good, it's very small and it's very compact in it, but I tried to print figures to paint and make and whatever, and I was struggling and they were coming out crap. So I sort of said, why? I posted it, it went about a week without anyone seeing it, and then suddenly a guy called Kevin McFarland came back and went, admittedly I'm not an FDM printer, but I have some experience and I've gathered so far, and I suspect one of three possibilities. Your hot end temperature may be too high, the temp is too high and you can see the using the filament, it may be the retraction settings, or it's unlikely, but depending on how long the filament's been out, filament could have gone mouldy. That is still a possibility. This flat is incredibly damp and I suffer from mould and black mould, etc., and it's part of things that's causing health issues. But that's a whole separate video, probably one for TikTok when I moan. But on here, yes, that is a possibility. I am going with the filament I've got because I'm just going with the filament I've got for now until we get more successful. The problem is I didn't quite understand the retraction things and the heat and whatever, and the EasyThreed printer doesn't have a hotbed. So that is a big thing, because a lot of people are going, oh, your hotbed's too hot or too cold or whatever, you need to, I don't have that. Mark Dickinson, he didn't see any supports on the model because I'd already pulled all the supports off and whatever, and I've shown you the finished results. So that was why. He was the first person to say that that printer is designed for objects and not figures. It's like the difference between printing a building and a Warhammer figure. You can see lots of straight edges, you don't need a lot of support, etc. So yes, I realise that now, and so at the moment I'm printing a Benchy to see what happens, because so far it's not worked. And yeah, the figure printing may not happen unless I do it really big. So yeah, that's appreciated. Rail Prawn. It was like the search for FDM printing. I didn't even know the difference. So that's what I was saying. What resolution and deviation are you using for a slicer? You can open the G-code file for the vase and get the details of that. That is one thing I haven't done yet because I've been trying to do other things. But yes, open the G-code and get that right. Neil Warwick. I'm printing a Benchy now. What, Neil? In fact, stay there. I'll be back. It's working. It's still printing. Previous attempts of printing a Benchy resulted in that. As you can see, it lifted, started to curl up. And then I tried to print the Cali Dragon and it got that far before I quit it. And then I said 4 attempts today of trying to print the thing, and it's been doing weird things. So yes, Neil Warwick said try printing a Benchy and then get the results and see what happens. Try printing some simpler things for best results. Deal with the hardware that you have. I had that Hero Forge model for like a year, and it's why I wanted to start doing Warhammer models and things, because I have this I had it before, I had a figure years ago, and I did that Pix AI, it progressed, and now I have a whole new character, and then I have elaborated on it, and so I want to print her out, paint her, and tell the story of her, and so forth. But at the moment she looks like she's got spina bifida, she's got like really skinny like legs, so I'm going to have to either green stuff her legs and make her look better, or get this right and try and print it again. I don't think I'll be able to print her on the easy. Niftiness Games. I like this. I will start by saying I do not print. I have a friend, you know, a friend.
Aye, now to mind, nudge, now to mind, say no more.
He was one of the people who said it's better at printing large, simple, straight sides, not trying to do pauldrons and the like. We're printing a benchy. Yeah, I think it's going to be structures and things. I have an idea for something out there which we'll come to. So it might be the infrastructure around the Warhammer figures. Lexama pretty much did it for me. Lexama went onto YouTube, searched something or pulled up something out of their history and said, go watch this guy. DIY Dad. He got one of his printers, and I watched that video. That was brilliant. That was really good. It was really informative. It was like the best. A couple of other people left saying, watch this guy or search for YouTube videos. But the DIY Dad guy did say, most of the people say, I got sent this EasyThreed printer. They sent me this printer. And so they tend to be a lot more like, oh, it's brilliant. It has bells and whistles. You know, they didn't pick it apart. They never said anything was wrong with it. DIY Dad guy went, it's not bad, it's okay, it's good as a first printer, but what you need to do is this. And so I tried making a frame for the head to fit in. Out of XPS foam, I made this, which is basically fits into the printer. I tried printing with it, and I'm not sure, it's not ideal, it's a bit rough. He printed one on a big printer, and it was all smooth and fancy, but the idea was that the head goes in there and it moves up and down, and it doesn't make that noise. My bodged engineering at making that, but that's the idea, because the head wobbles quite a lot. He also said on the video to tighten up all the belts. Yeah, there's a hand, there's a pair of hands helping me do this, because the person who bought me this is helping me do it, so that if I screw it up, we're both to blame. Right, we've been trying to get the tension on these stiffer, and they're not doing it. We're taking this off, taking this plate off, taking this plate off, taking this hole off here. We don't know how to get this tight, and this is really loose. The only one that's got any tension is this one, and that seems okay. So yeah, that took a long time, because again, this is that thing where people go, oh, just tie the XP612 rather than XP176. Right, yeah, see, that's where you went wrong. What's the difference? Oh, you should know that. You know, people don't explain really simple things like tighten the belts up. It's like, so we pretty much took the entire machine apart. The head fell out at one point, hot end, and we had to reassemble, put it back together. It turns out that the bars in the, as it moves back and forward, you just undo the casement and slide them, so from there they slide out and they slide to like there till it's tight. But it took us 90 minutes to work this out. The belt underneath, you have to take the plate off. There are two screws inside there that were completely loose, barely holding anything together, so we took the head off and spun it round and tightened it, and now that is tight. If you've got one of these and you don't know, say the base plate is that, you had to take that off and spin it round and expose the screws underneath. The screws to holding the belt in place were literally just hanging on by a thread, and the thing holding the screws in, you have to twist it round so the belt goes like, instead of going like this, it now goes. It was a bit confusing. See, don't know anything. Me, I know nothing. As Peter would say, a contemporary reference for 18 to 24-year-olds. I don't even know what that is. So Lexama, yeah, it went through this whole thing. I mean, seriously, paragraphs, who to use, what to use, when to use things. all of which has been taken in. Can't change the nozzle head. It's a 0.4mm nozzle head. To change it apparently costs the same amount of money as the printer originally. Add a hot bed and change the nozzle, it'll cost the same as an Ender 3. So I'm sticking with what we've got and printing walls. Blaze Flynn, another massive thing. Tons of points. Been printing for ages, so knows what he's talking about. Check the fan next to the extruder. The fan on the extruder, again, DIY Dad thing, said possibly drill out the plastic at the side of the extruder and just make it a hole, because the plastic is stopping the air getting in and it might be making it overheat. So that's something I may have to do, but that's destroying the machine. Everybody on I had to go on someone's Facebook, and because I haven't had Facebook for years, but I went on Facebook and everyone's just saying, oh, put the temperature to 210 and do this and do that, and of course everyone's then going, oh, and raise the hotbed temperature. But they're on the same forum for the same machine, but just absolute basic settings practically non-existent, and I couldn't find anybody with any giving me decent advice. I said, and he was one of the first people saying, basically, you want a resin printer. Yeah, because, vast workshops that I've got. I think he liked my reply, which was, yeah, unless someone's going to donate me one of them, and then possibly if they could also donate a floating workshop, then we'd be sorted. Have a floating workshop just outside the window on the second floor. A floating pond would be nice. Next to it, little pond, a little workshop, some fish. What do you think? Anyone want to donate? You know where to send it. But yeah, anyone sends me an Ender V3 or whatever, then I'm not going to say no. Ender. Is it true? My God, is it true? You spent a long time. He commented on every single other post. He commented initially on Tom Dyer's thing. That was really good. I haven't got the clips yet, Tom, but I will get some really small binder clips to clip the bed together. It is magnetised. It does seem to hold still, but I understand that it probably does shake. But again, with this thing, if I can get a proper version of this, it could end up being solid. Curtis Joseph, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That was pretty impressive. I thought it was like this big. I thought it was maybe this big. When he goes and takes the head off, and he's like he printed the whole thing on a tiny little machine, piece by piece. I have not worked out how to slice yet and literally cut things, because if I tried cutting this in half, the original DIY Dad did have the original thing that he printed. He left a link for it, so I've got the thing. I just can't seem to slice into 6 pieces and then glue it all back together. I can work Blender, but not on this machine. This is a piece of crap. Right, Curtis. FDM is not designed for miniatures. Yes, we got there. Look at that. Employ them both and you will create a dynamic of synergy. I'm going to do a painting dedicated to that. A dynamic of synergy. Listen, that sounds like an album name, doesn't it? Yeah, then is it true with the 9,000 messages that I'm just going to say, is it true's dissertation on FDM printers? It was very informative and lots of stuff, but yeah, quite a lot of it is bed temperatures. And so we are here. I have moved the printer outside because it makes a little bit less noise out there, buzzing away as it goes. It still makes a lot of noise. It's flat so small, I'd have to put it in the east wing, and that's just full up with dead lions and things. Eventually it'll go in the floating workshop outside. But for now, it's tried printing benches and Cali dragons, as I've said, and they kept lifting. They kept curling up and then sticking to the head. Don't understand why that is. Why is that? Next bunch of questions. And currently it's buzzing away, and it probably will keep going for the next 7 hours because it's slow. I've set the speed down to like what was suggested, and it's very slow. And I've realised that Cura basically says this time you double it and then add 20. It says it's going to take 2 hours. It will take 5 hours. It doesn't have a heat bed. It only has a 0.4 nozzle. They're not being changed, but we're here. It does print with supports when it prints. So who knows? I just mostly wanted to just say thank you to that. You can see this dissertation beside me. The whatever 52 comments, which is astronomical from. I just want to say thank you and whatever. And yes, next level of questions. I think it's a case of printing walls and vases and so forth. I did try to print a centurion, like a robot, and for some reason it took 8 hours to print like his leg, and it was only this big. I don't know where it's. That's the question. Infill. How do I, on Cura, how do I reduce the infill and whatever so that it's printing hollow? I have some things like an air scrubber. It's downloaded off of my mini factory, and it's 3 different versions. There's a solid version, there's a hollow version. I've not tried printing them yet because we're trying to print benches. But how do you make things hollow? Because as I said, I can't use Blender to isolate things and cut them out and whatever, because the computer crashes every time I use Blender. I like Blender. I made a whole city once, built a whole city out of Blender. I don't know where the file is. If I can find it, it's here. But if not, then use your imagination. Whatever that was, the destiny of Solace. I'm rambling now. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Right, I'm going to go and see if this print is printing, and the end result will be this. So that's the standby noise. That's not even printing. And the volume is. We have a successful print. Yeah. It taken 16 hours, but it did print. It took 4.5 hours to print that. Not bad.
Not bad, but not good.
Yeah.
A bit flaky, some wispiness. You know what to do. Comments down below, as you do. Thesaurus, theses and dissertations are welcomed, but you don't have to spend that much time. I just go like, you're an idiot. That'll do. Please don't. But you know, simple answers, straightforward answers. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you aren't a 3D printer but you know that Uncle Bob is, send it to Uncle Bob or Kevin or Jerif or Jugabar, whoever it is that is printing and does and knows what's going on. And if they have an EasyThreed V2, K1, K2, X2, XP, PX1, P2, it's the same printer. It's just they just change the name, but depending on which batch they make, apparently. If you know details, comments, give a thumbs up, share this with somebody. And if you're not already and you want to see the results of this and my attempts at painting and fixing half printed miniature and more models and more flow art and building things, breaking things, burning things, also burning, like setting fire to things and poisoning myself. I'm really good at that. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. Please hit subscribe. We're close to 200 subscribers, which is nothing. And some of these people are out there with 28,000 subscribers and their videos are crap. So please, if you've watched this video, please follow me. Please subscribe. I like you. Thank you. Bye bye. Oh, what do you call it? The thingy one, the good one. Ender. There's a certain somebody come to. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. You're not going out yet. You want to tell them what is going on? What's going on? You tell them, eh?